These podcasts take a considerable amount of time in research, production, and editing, and they couldn't be possible without our episode and segment partners. Today's entire episode has been sponsored by Engel & Volker's Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach, a luxury-focused real estate brokerage that has the best of both worlds, local expertise with global reach. We'll hear from them throughout the podcast, and I couldn't be more grateful for their support in bringing this episode to life. Hi, I'm Jenny Frank Kapoor, and welcome to my podcast. This series is called Thicken the Plot. Every neighborhood has a story, and we aim to tell you that story here. Today's podcast is about Sea Ranch Lakes, an idyllic and private sanctuary community like no other. As always, I appreciate your time and thank you so much for joining me for the latest installment of my blog and channel, The Tropical Times. My podcasts are not designed to be all things to all people. The aim is to help my prospective clients, and collaborators understand both the art and science behind the luxury tropical real estate we aim to buy or sell, whether for personal or investment purposes. These podcasts are meant to be insightful, valuable, and entertaining to my audience. There will be fun. It's luxury real estate and the tropics, both beautiful and desirable topics that I love. So there will be a bit of Jenny fun in each of these. Podcast disclaimer. Now, when I said these are going to be fun, what I meant by fun is that you are going to have fun watching my dogs run around in the background or join me during some of these segments. So I hope you enjoyed watching them, and I'm sure you'll be seeing them again soon. Here's what to expect in this podcast and market report. What makes the village of Sea Ranch Lakes so special? Nearby favorites and highlights, our featured home, 34 Cayuga Rd, and an in-depth review of the neighborhood's real estate market. Let's start with an overview. Welcome to the village of Sea Ranch Lakes, a truly one-of-a-kind community in South Florida. This is absolutely one of my favorite places in all of Greater Fort Lauderdale. I know that's some serious praise, so let's step beyond the gates and take a neighborhood deep dive exploring what makes this place so special. Have you ever wondered about your home and neighborhood having the following characteristics? A private, guard-gated community with residents along the intercoastal or lakes? A members-only beach club located oceanside? Your own police force? A community that is literally its own village municipality? Your neighborhood association is actually your local government. Well, that's exactly what you get with living in Sea Ranch Lakes. There is no doubt this is the most unique community setup in all of Greater Fort Lauderdale, and among the rarest in all of South Florida for that matter. Nestled between the intercoastal Atlantic Ocean and charming Lauderdale by the Sea, this luxury residential neighborhood is perfectly located for those seeking a blend of tranquility, privacy, and an amenity-rich lifestyle. The well-landscaped community consists of approximately 200 single-family homes distributed across lots that are inland, lakefront, and along the intercoastal waterway, or as we call it, the ICW. Situated on approximately 0.2 square miles, or about 128 acres if you do the math, the community is private with a capital P, enclosed by well-maintained walls, and access is regulated to residents and pre-approved guests. Otherwise, expect a quick pit stop at the friendly gatehouse where anyone unannounced will have to be cleared by a resident. Located off of A1A and North Ocean Drive, this is the only street entrance to the neighborhood. Next, let's take a look at one of my absolute favorites, the Beach Club. The arrival to the Sea Ranch Lakes Beach Club is immediately across A1A North Ocean from the neighborhood's gatehouse entrance. Officially titled the Sea Ranch Lakes Beach Club, the picturesque members-only club spans 2 acres of pristine oceanfront property with beautiful natural dunes. What I personally love about this club is that it serves as a great extension of your home and as a gathering place for special events in your life. Seriously, what a wonderful amenity to have access to. Per the advice I give my clients, and among the reasons why I'm seeking my own reimagined renovation or rebuild opportunities in this neighborhood, the Beach Club is yet another reason Sea Ranch Lakes properties command a premium relative to their comparative set. I love being outside and enjoying time with friends and family, and especially with my puppies, and sometimes just enjoying some time to myself in nature. Of course, most of Sea Ranch Lakes homes have a pool, and many also have a water view of the lakes or intercoastal. But nothing beats the sounds of the ocean waves, am I right? The refreshing feel of the sea breeze and the warmth and connection to the earth that comes from the toes in the sand. I think I just talked myself into heading to the beach. I'll be back in a bit. Just kidding. It's a great place to enjoy the beautiful beach, dunes, and sea turtle nests during their nesting season. The lush walking path from the clubhouse to the oceanfront is just awesome. The tranquility and sense of privacy are what I appreciate most about the Sea Ranch Lakes Beach Club. Whether with your kids or grandkids or other family and friends, there are expansive places for everyone to enjoy. With no shortage of access to water activities, you can choose between swimming and lounging at the beach or the resort-style pool. Here you can see the Beach Club pool where you can get some serious laps in, enjoy the spacious deck for some sun, or cover up in the beautiful cabanas. The clubhouse is a fantastic venue to host a private event throughout the year. One can enjoy a variety of indoor and outdoor entertainment areas, rain or shine. For example, there's a great lawn and fun children's play area that's perfect for burning off some energy. I remember my first time visiting the property, watching two grandparents play with their grandchild, hopefully giving mom and dad some time for a date. It was just so pleasant to see and reinforced the feeling of what made this club such an incredible amenity within the Sea Ranch Lakes community. Along with great indoor gathering space, there's also a fantastic covered patio at the clubhouse, as well as an open-to-the-sky patio with dining and grilling area. Next, we're going to speak about the lakes. Reflecting its namesake, Sea Ranch Lakes consists of two centrally located freshwater lakes, Lake Seneca and Lake Cayuga. These bodies of water are alive with wildlife, including fish, turtles, and beautiful birds. No motorboats are allowed on the lakes, and there is an access point for residents who do not have their own direct frontage. It's a great place to enjoy a kayak or a paddle boat. Lake Seneca Park is a gorgeous pocket park where one can enjoy postcard-like vistas of both lakes. There's an observation deck, benches, and convenient parking area. If you're taking a neighborhood stroll or a bike ride, be sure to incorporate this serene spot into your route. Next up, the village. R.H. Gore and his family were the original developers and founders of the Sea Ranch Lakes community. Originally from Kentucky, but adopting Fort Lauderdale as his longtime home, R.H. Gore once served as the governor to Puerto Rico and owned the Fort Lauderdale News, among other holdings in the city. In 1939, the family initially founded the Sea Ranch Cabana Club, and they followed suit with opening the Sea Ranch Hotel in 1940. In the 1950s, development of the Sea Ranch Lakes community began, and just over 200 home sites and lots, starting at $10,000, approximately $130,000 in 2024 dollars. That's a lot of dollars. Eventually, the Sea Ranch Center Shopping Plaza was also developed, and the village was incorporated as its own municipality in 1959 to maintain autonomy. All common village property, including the Sea Ranch Center Shopping Plaza, the clubhouse and amenities, the gatehouse, and streets, are owned and maintained by the Sea Ranch Lakes Beach Club, which is governed by an elected board of directors. A reasonable quarterly HOA fee helps support operations along with the revenue generated from the commercial property. The local governance of the village municipality follows a mayor-council form of government consisting of 7 village council members plus the mayor. On all major issues and elections, the village's voting structure is based on 1 vote per property. Now, what's in a name? Compared to other themes in South Florida, the unique street names found in Sea Ranch Lakes are largely inspired from locations throughout the states of New York and Minnesota, such as Cayuga, Seneca, Saranac, Minnetonka, and Winnebago. This not only reflects the heritage of many early and current residents, but also that of nearby Lauderdale by the Sea. Now let's talk about police, fire, and community services. Reflecting the community's emphasis on safety and privacy, the Village of Sea Ranch Lakes Police Department is comprised of roughly 15 police officers. The department is led by Chief James O'Brien, who, like many officers through the decades, hails from the state of New York. Services and utilities are largely contracted out to neighboring municipalities. For example, fire and rescue services are currently contracted with Pompano Beach. The Fort Lauderdale Water Department provides water services, and each home is on its own septic tank, which is common in many areas of South Florida, with no centralized sewer system. Garbage and recycling services are provided through waste management, and FPL is the village's power provider, with all lines buried, which is great for storm resiliency. Now let's talk about nearby healthcare. Sea Ranch Lakes is located near some of Broward County's most well-regarded healthcare systems. Situated just across the intercoastal on the mainland, they can be accessed by Commercial Boulevard and are located along US 1 and North Federal Highway. These include, but are not limited to, Holy Cross Health, Broward Health Imperial Point, and MD Now Urgent Care, North Fort Lauderdale. For many, choice of nearby schools is critical. Sea Ranch Lakes families have access to a variety of great to excellent public and private school options located close or relatively nearby. Public school options include McNabb Elementary, Pompano Beach Middle, which is a magnet school, and Northeast High School, also a magnet school. Private school options include Pinecrest School, St. Thomas Aquinas, Westminster Academy, Calvary Christian Academy, Fort Lauderdale, and Cardinal Gibbons High School. Next, I'd love to tell you about some of my nearby favorites and highlights. For the better part of 15 years, I have been enjoying the Sea Ranch Lakes and Lauderdale by the Sea communities. You can catch me cruising down A1A in my Beetle, walking around El Mar in the Gulf Mile with my husband and playful pups in the background, or enjoying some food and drinks and music off of Commercial Boulevard. The small town and friendly feel is something that I cherish, and it reminds me of the community feel where I grew up in Pennsylvania. While there are many, many great choices in the area, and the list is not meant to be exhaustive, here are some of my favorite places that I enjoy near Sea Ranch Lakes. Aruba Beach Cafe. This is a personal favorite where I love sitting by the beach, feeling the ocean breeze and the postcard view of the pier. It's also really fun when there's live music. This is a frequent go-to of mine for lunch and dinner. Taco Craft. Mexican food is something I enjoy often, and this spot has an elevated quality with plenty of favorites that you would expect. And man, they make a great margarita. Vinny's by the Sea. Vinny's has such a good atmosphere amplified when there is live music. The food is great, and it's a nice place to come with friends and or family, especially in the evenings. Sea Watch on the Ocean. This is a beautiful, charming restaurant with an incredible view of the beach and ocean. Enjoy when you're looking for fantastic food and a special family or friends night. Kilwins. I have a bit of a sweet tooth, and this is a favorite spot of mine after soaking up the sun at the beach or enjoying a dinner nearby. My personal favorite is the salted caramel, or anything chocolate. Beach Village Resort. This resort is such a charming place with an incredibly friendly staff and spacious suites that are both clean and pleasant. So cute. I just love it. Great place to have your friends or family stay. Farmers Market and El Prado Park. It's so fun to visit the local farmers market and Oceanside Park. When strolling El Mar, it's a great spot to take a break and enjoy the offerings, breeze, and local community feel. I had a chance to sit down with Francisco Garcia, who, along with his amazing partner and wife, Niliana Garcia, have been mentors to me as brokers and also just as great people, helping me on my own journey as a luxury real estate advisor. They have had incredible success in their real estate careers and have taken that success to a new level upon launching their locally focused brokerage business with Engel & Volkers, an international brokerage that focuses on the luxury real estate market. During my conversation with Frank, we had the opportunity to speak about his career, why Engel & Volkers, and his thoughts on the local Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, and Sea Ranch Lakes markets. Let's check in with Frank.
My name is Francisco Garcia. I'm the licensed partner for Engel & Volkers Fort Lauderdale and also soon to be Pompano Beach. Well, I decided in 2018 that there was an opening to take over the Engel & Volkers luxury brand, and that excited me. I am definitely an entrepreneur at heart, so I felt building something from the ground up and making it better than it once was would be something that would A, I find enjoyment in, and B, a successful challenge, because I have to have a challenge. There's a lot of other companies that are starter brands. Their sales are somewhere between 250 to 400. There's other brands that their sales are more 400 to 800,000. Engel & Volkers is known for luxury. So our average sale at the Fort Lauderdale shop last year was $1.2 million. That's considering we did sell lower end properties. We don't just sell high end. But with that inclusive, we still averaged 1.2 million. Myself have averaged over $1 million, and I've had over 400 sales since I started the business.
It was great to hear directly from Frank why Engel & Volkers and how it's elevated his ability to assist his clients, community, and team. Building on Frank's incredible success, it was also interesting to learn directly from the entrepreneur on why he's in the real estate sales business and how Engel & Volkers helps him connect and perform for the communities the brokerage serves.
Well, the benefit of having a shop like this is you're helping people that need a home, whether that be a 500,000, 400, 300, 5 million, doesn't matter. That person needs a home. And you helping them find it is an inner achievement that's second to none, especially if you care about people. As far as the community, I feel that we bring that luxury brand, that luxury feeling, not only by the lifestyle that we live and we sell, but also the way we dress, the way we act. It lets people know that we understand who they are, what they want, and when they want it.
You can clearly see Frank's passion for the business, and we're going to hear from him again a little later in the podcast. Let's get back to our episode. I'm excited to talk to you about our featured property, 34 Cayuga Road, which is a listing courtesy of Engel & Volkers. Now that we have a good idea of what makes this village community so great, let's dive into one of the best available Sea Ranch Lakes luxury homes for sale. Welcome to 34 Cayuga Road, the gem of the current market. As you'll see within this in-depth market analysis section later on, at the time of this podcast, I believe this is the best deal available in Sea Ranch Lakes. Let's dive deep and talk about why. Now about this property. First and foremost, this is a move-in ready home. You could bring some or all of your toothbrush, your pets, and family. I recommend at least 2 out of the 3. Definitely your pets. It's a plug and play, and you're ready to live the Sea Ranch Lakes life from day one. If someone has specific tastes and wants to remodel some areas to one's desires or needs, it's a great starting point for a renovation with potentially only a limited set of activity to do given the current condition and recent improvements. Here, you can see a great aerial view of the expansive property and lush grounds. Next, let's talk about the key facts of 34 Cayuga. There is 3,615 square feet under air. The lot is 11,661 square feet, which is approximately 0.268 acres. There are 3 bedrooms and 3 full bathrooms. Highlighted features include the awesome pool and patio terrace and a finished 2-car garage. This home is currently offered at $2,763,135. Now this is $764 per AC square feet. To me, this is a best priced, ready renovated home in the neighborhood and well below other active and sold comparables, which you'll hear later about in my in-depth market analysis. So what makes this property so special? Living in the tropics of South Florida, I love natural light and the outdoors, and this house is an A+ on both. The living room has a high mid-century design accent ceiling that adds some neat movement to the space and is a nod to the architecture of the neighborhood's founding era. The space is perfect for indoor-outdoor entertaining, playtime with the family, and winding down together after a long day. The hero of this room, for sure, is the natural light flowing in from the 3 sides and the connectivity to the backyard, pool, and terrace. Seriously, I can enjoy that view all day. Stepping outside, you'll have all that you need for family time and entertaining. There's room for all activity zones, such as swimming, lounging, grilling, dining, and playing. If you have active dogs like me, not so active right now, there's a side yard with grass and plenty of room to zoom from one side of the property to the other. I love that the house opens up to the backyard and pool terrace with well-positioned views from rooms throughout most of the property. I'm also big on living zones and carefully think about creating and selling homes with this in mind. Another highlight of the home are the room proportions and the flow of the layout inside. Coming from the living room we just spoke about, you're connected to the formal dining and living areas, which also serve as a central connection to the entry foyer, eat-in kitchen, and bedrooms. Personally, I love the formal dining area that sits within the center of the home and enjoys views of the pool terrace. And while I don't play the piano, I'd love to play it here in this formal living room. Maybe I'll take lessons. It's also great to have dedicated areas for specific activities. And it's also nice when hosting and seeking some breakaway time as groups. Yes, guys and gals, there's enough room to get away and talk about how much you love your spouses, or why your in-laws brought a month's worth of clothes in the larger guest room, which might be a bit too comfortable, if you know what I mean. Moving on. I love this eat-in kitchen. It has all the cooking zones one should expect in a luxury home at this price point. You have top-of-the-line stainless steel appliances featuring an induction cooktop, a separate prep sink, so helpful, plenty of counter space, and room to eat in at both the island and informal dining table, which is perfect for quick snacks or a casual family dinner. Finally, let's highlight the excellent and spacious primary suite. The well-spaced rooms and amenities of the primary suite are what set this home apart from many renovations of original 1950s and 1960s properties that I've seen within the neighborhood. In the bedroom itself, there's more than enough room for a king bed, double nightstands, and a generous TV setup, also easily accommodating a wall unit. Staying with the theme of connectivity to the outside, I love that there's a private entrance to the pool terrace and a way to enjoy the view from bed. It's also very convenient for those early morning puppy potty time in your PJs. The primary suite also includes 2 generous amenity spaces, the primary bathroom and the primary dressing room. Trust me, there's no way you can just call it a closet. The impressively finished dressing room provides dedicated space for plenty of shoes, I love shoes, clothes, including the long hangs, hats, and more. The bathroom features double vanities, a linen closet, stone finishes, and a natural skylight that gives you the feeling of being outdoors. There's much more to this tropical luxury home, and you have to see it in person to fully appreciate what the property has to offer. I don't see it lasting long at this price, and there are limited move-in ready opportunities available on market within Sea Ranch Lakes. Please get in touch with me and let's schedule a private showing to see 34 Cayuga Road in person. This next segment is brought to you by Engel & Volker's Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach, and I am so grateful for their sponsorship of this podcast as both an episode and segment partner. Speaking of, we're going to check in on both communities that neighbor Sea Ranch Lakes with licensed partner Francisco Garcia and why he chose to open 2 Engel & Volker shops in these markets. Take it away, Frank.
We bought the franchise in 2018. We didn't open until April of 2019 because we were searching for a location that would really fit the Engel & Volker's luxury brand. We're very lucky in getting this location. It's 110 linear feet of glass, which means exposés, window treatments, pull-up banners, things that will make people pay attention to what you got going on inside. We chose the Fort Lauderdale area because of all the condo units in front of the building. There seems to be 5,000 different condo units across the street, and that's one heck of a market to be able to work in. And then we've gotten into new construction, which is also a part of the condo market. So just one thing kind of kicked into another, and knock on wood, we've been doing very well ever since. I think the Fort Lauderdale community is going to grow by leaps and bounds. It won't be a Miami, thank God, but it will be a city that everyone wants to visit. We now have an international airport, so there's no reason to drive all the way down to Miami or fly into Miami. You can fly into Fort Lauderdale and get everything you can in Fort Lauderdale with half the population. So I think it's huge, and Pompano Beach is right behind it. So these are going to be cities that in the future will be major cities. The Pompano location took probably 2 years to find. And really, it's not a question of just popping in a location anywhere. You want to find the perfect location so the clients can find you and easy for them to reach out. The Pompano Beach market is exciting because in a very short time, starting in about 2018, 631 units are either being built or have been built. Out of that number, 84% of those units are already sold. So that means even with that massive amount of units, there's only 16% available. And we haven't hit the new season yet. And these things are years out. As far as the Pompano business location, we're going to be right on Atlantic Boulevard, right in the middle of everything. And that was very important to us because we feel that Pompano, not only what's there already and what's coming, but there's even more that's down the road. And once it's all built up, I think Pompano will be another luxury market.
As you can see, Frank certainly has a thorough grasp on the Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach markets, and I took the chance to further ask him about where he sees available opportunities in local real estate today. We then spoke about his thoughts on Sea Ranch Lakes, Lauderdale by the Sea, and how he sees these communities fitting into the Greater Fort Lauderdale and Pompano Beach growth story.
Buying a new construction right now is the answer to me that you would have gotten back in 2008 through 2016. You bought something that the bank owned, you fixed it up, you flipped it, you made great money. Well, that's all gone now. There's no foreclosures, there's not flipping. So right now, the new construction market, buying friends and family pricing, and then turning around and selling afterwards when the market's gone up, that price difference is where you're going to make your money. It's more important to buy in right than it is to sell. Maybe 80 units total, and at the rate that people are moving to Pompano and Fort Lauderdale, that's not a lot of units to sell. So Sea Ranch Lakes is one of the very few true gated communities that you can buy in, have that security, have that comfort that you know no one else is going to come into your community because it's closed off to the rest of the people. Number one. Number two, all the homes in Sea Ranch Lakes are either being redone or knocked down and new ones being built. So that little concave of units is going to continue the rise in value because there's no more of it. You either buy something and redo it or you buy something and knock it down. But that means you're going to pay more for the land now than you did before, which means it's going to be more valuable. And down the road, the new construction will rise even further the price points. So it's something that you know you're going to get into, your family's going to enjoy it, and when you go to leave, you're going to be able to sell at a good price. Sea Ranch Lakes being so close to Lauderdale by the Sea is great because you have the restaurants, you have shops, you have a whole world that you get to enjoy very close. Most people have golf carts. They drive the golf carts over to Lauderdale by the Sea so they can hit all the restaurants and get that enjoyment. You can also take it all the way up to Pompano Beach and enjoy what's going on up there. Seems like every month they're adding more and more to the Pompano Beach area. And Lauderdale by the Sea, it's kind of like a quaint, small, beachy town, and they want to keep it that way. So you'll have plenty of growth in Pompano and plenty of growth in Fort Lauderdale. But Lauderdale by the Sea is going to remain that beachy little town that everyone loves.
It's been so much fun speaking with Frank Garcia about Engel & Volkers and his passion for real estate. The luxury brokerage covers Fort Lauderdale to Pompano Beach, including Sea Ranch Lakes, and you can feel their command and knowledge of the local markets in every conversation. But what makes this brokerage so special are the great team of people within, most notable Frank's wife, partner, and all-around rock star, Niliana Garcia. Seriously, she is just incredible. You have to see her in action. I couldn't think of a better luxury real estate brokerage, and I recommend considering Engel & Volkers for your real estate needs due to their local expertise and global reach. With that said, let's get back to our podcast. For our final segment of this podcast, let's talk about the current market within Sea Ranch Lakes. As you'll hear myself talk about often, I love the art and science that comes with selling and building luxury real estate in the tropics. There's nothing better than finding great materials, designing enjoyable spaces, and delivering the perfect tropical home or investment project to my clients. But I am a numbers gal at heart, and I love to talk about the data behind the real estate. It's this information that helps my clients make informed decisions about what is typically a large investment, whether for personal or professional purposes. While the analysis here is specific to homes available for sale and that have sold within Sea Ranch Lakes, it also serves as a sample demonstrating a select part of the evaluation I provide to my clients when they are looking for data-driven insights on acquiring or selling property. So there's a lot more where this came from when you hire me. Providing this value is where I take pride in being your luxury real estate advisor. Let's talk about my analysis approach. Consistent with the needs of my clients who are searching for properties that are move-in ready or for investment projects, as well as for my own reimagine project needs, you will please note that I look at the market through the lens of someone analyzing ready versus renovation versus rebuild opportunities and organize my analysis accordingly. FYI, I define ready as newly built or recently updated. A one-size-fits-all averaging approach for the entire market or neighborhood just doesn't work for my clients, nor myself. If you understand the micro, you'll have a command over the macro, and I will provide summary analysis per subgroup in my classification system. For a consolidated and comprehensive notice related to all the listings here, broker and agent credits, and data found within this podcast and market report, please see the disclaimers and notices section at the conclusion of this video. Further, all comments and opinions within this market report are the result of my good faith and professional judgment. With that being said, let's dig in. First up, we're going to take a look at the market actives. As of the time of publishing this podcast, there are 8 homes currently active on market for sale, including 1 home that is also available for rent. There's also 1 standalone rental available, not included in this analysis. Now, this represents approximately 4% of homes in the community are available on market. And as always, please contact me directly about off-market opportunities. Let's take a quick visual look at the available inventory and where they are in the community. As you can see on the map, the available homes are spread throughout the neighborhood, with options on and off the water. These represent varying price points, conditions, and lot sizes. First, we'll discuss what I classify as reno targets. Let's take a moment to look at these properties on the table. Now, here are my observations. I believe both of these homes are great renovation opportunities with fantastic spaces situated on spacious lots. However, I find them slightly expensive compared to the move-in, ready renovated comp set below, especially if there's no ready-to-go pool, although with many such homes in the community, there is a space for one. Most discerning clients at this price point may require a fair amount of work to be done to either property in order to achieve expectations for today's luxury living standards. Based on pricing at the time of this podcast, this subgroup is averaging an asking price of $2,822,000 and a price per square foot of $939. Next, we'll take a look at what I classify as rebuild targets. As you can see on the table, I don't believe there currently are any on market. Now, here are my observations. Sea Ranch Lakes has been in demand, and we've seen a wave of new construction in the community over the last few years. Currently, in my opinion, there are no obvious on-market properties available in this category. Now, if interested in buying to build, we should approach rebuild candidates off-market directly to try and create an opportunity for a new construction home. If you own a potential rebuild home site in the community and are interested in selling, now's a great time to monetize your property. I'd be happy to prepare an in-depth analysis on what you could expect and bring you buyers that are looking in the area, including myself. So let's talk. Next up, we're going to take a look at what I classify as ready renovated homes. And let's take a moment to look at these properties on my table. Here are my observations. There's a reason 34 Cayuga, to me, is the best priced opportunity in Sea Ranch Lakes. For many, the home would be move-in ready condition, and it has a great flow to its layout and outdoor space for enjoyment. The 2-car garage is also nicely finished. Some buyers might prefer minor upgrades or remodeling, but that's really down to taste. On a price per square foot basis, I believe this property is hands down the best deal in the community. 2 Mendota is a fantastic property on a generously sized lot for the neighborhood. The home has a charm of another era, architecturally speaking, and has been upgraded to today's luxury living standards within. There's still some room for a new owner to do some upgrades, but that's also down to taste. I find the home to be well priced. Now, based on pricing at the time of this podcast, this subgroup is averaging an asking price of $3,181,067 and a price per square foot of $853. This average is significantly weighted down by 34 Cayuga asking price, which is price to sell. Finally, let's take a look at what I classify as ready rebuilt. We'll first take a moment to look at the property table. Now, here are my observations. These homes represent the new build, present, and future of Sea Ranch Lakes. You can clearly see where the evolution of the community is heading. Compared to other markets in Greater Fort Lauderdale and South Florida overall, these homes represent incredible relative value, especially those on the water. 7 Gatehouse is a fabulous new home. The land was purchased in 2021 out of bankruptcy. The builder is hopefully going to do very well on the sale. I'm rooting for you. I find it well priced for inland new construction. 19 Gatehouse is a large modern estate on half an acre along the intercoastal. That's pretty rare for this community. It's a very unique modern design and build. I find it priced to sell and a great opportunity. We have 28 Minnetonka is one of my favorite properties in all of Greater Fort Lauderdale. The architecture and design for the lot shape were very thoughtful, and the finishes are excellent. I believe this home to be very well priced. 32 Seneca is a gorgeous new home slated for completion later this year. The pricing stands out compared to what other new construction is going for in the relevant area. You can see this in terms of both their top line and price per square foot asking price, but I'm certainly rooting for them. If the other new construction sells before 32 Seneca hits its CO, this could be the only game in town, and you never know. It just takes one to fall in love. Now, based on pricing at this time of this post, this subgroup is averaging an asking price of $10,023,750 and a price per square foot of $1,540. This average is significantly weighted up by the 32 Seneca asking price. Looking at just the other homes in the subgroup, the average asking price is $7,748,333 with a price per square foot of $1,253. When looking at the entire subgroup, the median asking price is $8,622,500 with a price per square foot of $1,412. Now let's take a look at the solds. Looking back just beyond a year from the time of this podcast, there have been 18 on-market transactions that have sold within Sea Ranch Lakes. This represents approximately 9% of the community trading on market over the last 12 plus months, which is consistent with many luxury gated communities throughout South Florida. Also, should you be interested, please contact me about off-market transactions. Let's take a minute to take a look at the sold activity map in the community. As you can see, the homes that were sold on market were located throughout the neighborhood, both on the water and inland, and at a range of prices. As you can see in this next chart, the closed sales were consistently spread throughout the year, highlighted by 4 sales in June, kicking off summer relocation season, 3 sales in August, just in time for school, and another 3 sales in April, as winter-spring season comes to an end. The beauty of South Florida is that you can have consistent activity throughout the year depending on whether buyers are local, think relocation or upgrades, or may be coming from various second home feeder markets, such as the US, North and Midwest, Canada, Europe, and LATAM, that each bring their own seasonality and rhythm. First up, let's talk about the sold reno targets. Let's take a minute to review the table, as there are a good amount in this category. Now here are my observations. 21 Gatehouse is a great example of an intercoastal renovation target priced to sell with time on the market of only 56 days. The property has great water frontage and lot size and unique wood finishes throughout. If fully renovated to today's expectations, I could see this home being worth up to double its last trade. Time will tell, but I think this could prove to be a fantastic buy. Congrats to all involved. 7 Winnebago has great interior space and above market lot size. Supported by time on market, I think it was a great buy. 7 Oneida was a relatively quick sale, and I believe it was priced to move. At $2 million, it's a great entry point to Sea Ranch Lakes. 5 Tahoe is really an in-between for me, and I easily could have included it in the Reno Ready category. While this home could be renovated to today's luxury standards, it was also in pleasant condition at the time of sale, and I believe the price per square foot supports this, while recognizing smaller homes can trend higher in this metric. Another great entry price point to the neighborhood. 2 Cayuga was purchased at a fantastic basis. Given the home's excellent overall square footage and room count, it could be spectacular with a renovation to today's luxury standards. Great buy. 6 Saranac is a well-proportioned home with great overall interior square footage and lot size. I find it dated yet pleasant, and it traded at the upper range of its subgroup compared to its peers. Based on pricing at the time of this post, this subgroup is averaging a sold price of $2,734,958 and a price per square foot of $758. This average is affected by both a high and low outlier, 5 Tahoe and 2 Cayuga, respectively. Looking at just the other homes in the subgroup, the average sold price was $3,082,500 with a price per square foot of $761. When looking at the entire subgroup, the median sales price was $2,417,375 with a price per square foot of $760. Now let's talk about the sold rebuild targets. Let's start by taking a quick moment to review the property table. Here are my observations. 3 Winnebago was a good land purchase by the buyer. I find that's an attractive basis per square foot relative to the potential valuation of a finished inland home, assuming it's not overbuilt. Good, if not great buy. And congrats. A very active segment over the last 12 plus months. Next, we're going to review the sold, ready renovated homes. This is the largest subgroup in the market analysis, representative of the recent renovation activity over the past few years, which also continues today in the neighborhood. So let's take a moment to review this property table. Here are my observations. 2 Minnetonka is an example of a well-priced Sea Ranch Lakes inland home selling in an efficient 85 days. It's move-in ready, although a buyer may desire some further updates per taste. Honestly, it's a price per square foot sold as if it was a reno target. One factor that may have affected pricing is its location abutting the shopping plaza, although I feel this is mitigated with the community walls and nice landscaping. Great buy. 21 Saranac has a particular style that may require a unique taste to fully appreciate, but for someone who enjoys the style, it's nicely finished and in move-in ready condition. I interpret this purchase price as more about a lower top line dollar paid comparably and move-in ready status for an intercoastal home with a new dock and other outdoor improvements. 9 Tahoe is a tastefully renovated inland home with a great natural light and beautiful kitchen. A wonderful example of renovation potential for homes in the neighborhood. For the renovation quality, outdoor spaces, and lot size, I believe this was a great purchase price, and that's reflected by the efficient time on the market. 34 Cayuga was a steal of a deal in 2023. And is currently, per my previous comments in the podcast, the best price deal available again today in 2024 with it back on the market. 14 Minnetonka is an impressively renovated home with incredible materials and finishes throughout. It has wonderful square footage, room proportions, and ceiling heights. Great purchase price, and that's reflected by the time on the market. 19 Seneca is an elegant renovation and was one of the deals of 2023. It's hard to find another fully renovated property for $799 per square foot on the lakefront, just to compare it to the next listing. Excellent cost basis and buy. 36 Seneca is a majestic lakefront estate of relatively recent construction compared to many in the neighborhood. At $1,406 per square foot and on a larger than most lot, it's one of the highest prices achieved on the lakes. Based on pricing at the time of this podcast, this subgroup is averaging a sold price of $3,000,900 $918,850, and a price per square foot of $945. There's enough of a sample size to compare waterfront versus non-waterfront homes in this subgroup. The average sold price of waterfront was $5,840,717, with a price per square foot of $1,180. One could argue that 19 Seneca is an outlier weighing down this sub-analysis, as the other two homes achieved about 40% higher pricing, otherwise averaging $1,371 per square foot, which I believe is more representative of the market. The average sold price of non-waterfront was $2,957,916, with a price per square foot of $827. When looking at the entire subgroup, the median sales price was $3,690,000, with a price per square foot of $897. Looking at waterfront, the median sales price was $4,280,000, with a price per square foot of $1,335. Looking at non-waterfront, the median sales price was $2,675,000, with a price per square foot of $870. Finally, let's review the sold ready rebuilt category. Let's start by taking a quick moment to review the property table. Now here are my observations. 51 Cayuga is a great example of a newly built single-level house on the lake. At $1,270 per square foot, this lakefront price slots right between newly built inland homes, lower price per square foot, and those on the ocean access of the intercoastal, higher price per square foot. Well designed, well built, and well priced. Congrats. 7 Seneca is a majestic and beautiful new estate built on the lake. I love this house. It's situated on a slightly larger lot relative to most in the neighborhood. The attention to indoor-outdoor living spaces and finishes quality throughout are what one would expect for high-end luxury living in the tropics at this price point. The land was purchased for $1,880,000 in 2021 and was a nice basis for a new build as a percentage of the completed sales price. While a small sample size, one can observe price convergence for newly constructed lakefront homes around the $1,200 to $1,300 per square foot mark, which I expect could climb soon. The two homes are of materially different interior square footage sizes, but the average sold price of the subgroup was $6,684,277, with a price per square foot of $1,246. Thank you for making it this far with me in this featured podcast and market report. As I hope you can see, I have a very thorough understanding of the Sea Ranch Lakes market, which is truly one of the most amazing and desirable communities in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Are you interested in buying or selling within Sea Ranch Lakes? Whether you're looking to purchase or sell a primary residence, secondary home, or investment project, please provide me with an opportunity to earn your trust and business. I look forward to speaking with you, establishing a relationship, and providing you an overview of what I can do for you. Should you wish to learn more about working with me before speaking, please visit my website where you can learn about my buyer and seller services as well as a little background on my company and me. Finally, if you're looking for opportunities for your own renovation or rebuild, I'd love to work with you. We at Tropical Phoenix Homes assist with site selection through completion and monetization where needed. Such opportunities are my greatest professional joy to work on. You can learn more about this and our Reimagine program on my website, and I'd love to discuss your needs with you when ready. If now is not the right time for you, please keep me in mind for any of your real estate needs. As always, one of the greatest compliments is a referral, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you again for spending this time with me. I wish you good fortune on your real estate journey, and see you soon. Bye-bye.